Anybody?
Sorry, I'm
Oh, there we go.
just
Mike,
hooked
go
up.
ahead.
Okay. Fran, I'm sorry. I'm going to ask a question that's not about your current team, but what Keegan Murray did Saturday night was uh, so extraordinary. I was wondering if how did he become the shooter that he has become?
You know what, Mike? And I say this all the time. I mean, I started watching that kid in fourth grade. He could always shoot. Now, I think your point is think about who he was doing it against the other night. It's pretty impressive. But he was always a great shooter. He was always very confident in his ability to shoot. I think you saw that in his second year here. He was an elite shooter. And we saw it last year. I mean, set the rookie record. I mean, it's pretty impressive when you think about all the great players in that league, and he was set the rookie record, uh, especially with who else they had on the team. So I'm just thrilled for him. I mean, he's as good a person as I've ever coached, and you just root for him every day and his brother, uh, and it's fun to watch. And I think the scary thing is I think that performance typifies what he can become, which is an absolute superstar in that league.
Tyler Tashman.
Ryan, I think you had said before that I mean Evan Bronze just hasn't played a whole lot because you have a lot of guys in front of him. But just curious, like what you've kind of seen behind the scenes, since he's gotten onto campus and what he's kind of added to the dynamic of the team.
He's been terrific. I mean, obviously, I know him well. He's a phenomenal person, a great teammate. Uh, in the beginning, he was just trying to find his way. Then he started really coming after playing time, competing for playing time. That's been impressive to watch. Uh, this past weekend was not typical of who he is. He had the flu last week and didn't practice at all. And, we actually told him to go home, and he stayed there for a couple of days. So he was not himself, but he's feeling better now, and he'll get more and more opportunity.
Tyler again.
Just curious what you kind of see from UMBC.
Well, Jimmy's a really good coach. Good friend of mine. Was obviously the interim coach at Penn State, so I coached against him before. They play a unique style. They're number one in pace of play in the country, so they're going to push it. They're going to shoot it quick if it's there. They got a lot of guys that can go one-on-one off the bounce, can make threes, can make plays for themselves. They play fast, but they have a plan. It's not like they play nuts, like I always say. They don't play that way, even though they play fast. So it's a great challenge for us.
Mike.
Yeah, just one more before I got to hit the road. But freshmen, obviously, most freshmen kind of can go up and down, or their playing time can go up and down through no fault of their own. But it looked like Lodgy and I would say Price too seemed very comfortable out there Saturday. And what kind of strides have they made?
They're both really good players. I mean, what's interesting, Mike, is from the minute they got here, they played well. I think you're right. Sometimes the minutes can be affected depending on who you're playing and your veteran guys. They have, to me, played with a level of confidence and maturity that you need to continue to get more and more playing time as a freshman and to make our team better because of the depth that we have. I mean, I thought they both were terrific. Price's defense, which doesn't ever really get right, nobody really gets recognition for defense sometimes unless you have block shots that are a bunch of steals. His positional defense and his help, whether it be on drives or in the post, when they were trying to post up the big fella, was really intuitive and effective. And that is an indication of him Obviously, he's been a great offensive player his whole life, but that's an indication of him sort of completing the picture of what he can become. Same with Lodgy. Lodgy was, I mean, he was phenomenal defensively, fronting the post, fighting for position, showing on ball screens, getting back, getting to the front, and then rebounding. So we're going to need that from both of those guys moving forward.
Tyler.
You guys have, your four freshmen in the regular rotation, and this is the college season is much longer than the high school season. How do you make sure that guys don't hit a wall? Is that something you can actually help them through, or how does that factor into things?
Yeah, we take a very business-like approach there. I mean, these guys, they're competitors. They want playing time. They want more playing time. That's to be respected by everybody. And they're used to competing and working on their game on a year-round basis. So, I mean, if the season was over sooner, they'd be in the gym anyway. So they sort of have an expectation that they're going to keep working hard and be ready, because sometimes, God forbid, somebody gets hurt and you end up playing more. So those guys are just character people who understand how to prepare and how to stay ready.
All right, perfect. Thanks for your time this morning,
Thanks,
Coach.
guys.
Appreciate it.